Hello YouTube, Chester Boy here, and today we're taking a look at the deluxe Time Majin from Kamen. Now, I will explain why I just said Time Majin instead of O's Ride Watch in a second, but, oh my god, this thing is tall. This thing's huge. So, yeah, this is the first impression right there. But let's take a look at the packaging real quick. So you got Deluxe Time Majin O's Ride Watch, so we got the Time Majin here, and we got Kamen on there. So we got the battle mode, and here's the vehicle mode up there. And this basically shows you what the O's Ride Watch does. And of course it shows you the features of what the Time Majin does, what it does. What does it do, rather. And of course it does show you can actually put weapons from the Ride Armor series line. And of course a good example, we have the drill crusher from the Build Armor set, so yeah. And of course Geo can sit inside, which we'll take a look at that later. And here's the Time Majin with the O's Ride Watch attached. So let's take a look at the Time Majin. So here's the Time Majin in its full glory, in battle mode, or robo mode if you want to call it. Now I'm going to explain why I decided, well, from the title of this video, I'm going to say the Deluxe Time Majin. And I will put the Romanized version in the parentheses. I'm just going to call it the Time. I'm going to pronounce this Time Majin with the katakana spelling. You know, Majin. So because it just sounds better in my opinion. But again, I will put the Romanized name in parentheses. But the reason I just said I'm going to say Time Majin is because I got this off of eBay. Because I really want just the Time Majin itself, not the Ride Watch, since I'm not going to be getting any Ride Watches. So yeah, I'm just going to get this name because it does interact with you know, the Rider Kicks figures from the line. So yeah, specifically Geo and Gates respectively. So yeah. So enough of that. Let's take a look at the Time Majin. And alright, so my first impression of this thing. This thing is quite big and tall. And for a quick size comparison, here he is next to Gekiatsu Daio. It's almost the same height. It's a bit taller than a standard Super Sentai mech. So yeah, it's quite tall. Yeah. So let's take a look at the top. Oh, and it does come with a dummy Geo Ride Watch, which doesn't come included. And of course, here's the back. And of course, any Ride Watch can attach up to the head, will become a head. So there you go, attach like that. So yep. And of course, we got Robo. And speaking of Robo, here's Robo in katakana. So again, Robo. So yep. So yeah, got some nice lavender accents going on, yeah. So yeah, very neat. So it's mainly gray with black and some lavender accents and some bits of green, which I looked across this whole entire figure. This is the only bit of green that's on this figure. That's it, just the Robo word. So yeah. So yeah, pretty neat. It's pretty big. Yeah. Let's go to the articulation. The head actually goes side to side via this little joint right here. So just like that. The elbows can actually swing out to the side. The arms can swing all the way around like this, and it's real tight. There's a bicep. There's an elbow joint here, and there's a swivel. There's a wrist joint, and yeah, and that's pretty much it for the Now, obviously, there's no torso articulation because of this, which again we'll get to into that later. The legs can go forward. It can go backwards. There's a knee joint. There's a swivel, but there's sadly no ankle tilt. So it's just, you know, fixed in this position. So yeah. So there's actually quite a bit of articulation for the Time Majin's battle mode, or Robo mode if you want to call it. So yeah, I'm gonna call it Robo mode because it just sounds better in my opinion. But yeah, so that's actually quite a lot of articulation on this thing. So yeah, so So let's get right on to the features in this mode. Alright, so on to the features of the Time Majine's battle mode. So again, to a few things. So mainly, you can open up the chest like I did show before. And you can store Kamen Geo or Kamen Gates inside. So we're gonna do Kamen Geo. So it's gonna make sure his arms are inside. And just get him in there. Just like that. And then close up. Make sure he's in all the way. Now it does take some filling to get him in there. So yeah, I think it's just like that. There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, so you have Kamen Geo inside the Time Majin, and you can see Kamen Geo's kneecaps right there. So now, while this figures inside, when it figures inside the Time Majine's Robo mode, it does limit the Time Majine's leg articulation. So specifically, this can go up all the way like that because of the legs, and it can go back a bit. So yeah, so just like that. So that's pretty much that. Now you can't put Kamen Gates in this thing. However, Kamen Gates does have his own Time Majin, which is basically his color scheme. Well, actually, let me show Kamen Gates. Just to get a little picture of this, Kamen Gates' Time Majin is basically the same mold. It's just, has Robo written hiragana, and the color scheme was the same as this guy. So mainly red, silver, black, and yellow. So yeah, that could be a premium Bandai release if there's like a recolor of this, for Kamen Gates respectively. That would be great. But right now we have the Geo version. So yeah. Now onto the other feature. You can actually attach weapons from the Rhine Armor series line. So just like on the box, you can attach the drill crusher that came with the build armor and attach it like that. So that's pretty neat. Now the one problem I have with this is that the drill weapon isn't parallel with the arm. So yeah, and this makes me wish they put like a little joint right here. Like you could have easily done that. Like you just tilt it up and like this, and then it could be like on a ratchet, or it could be like on a like a mushroom peg or something like that. That would be great, but it's unfortunate. But you can actually do that. However, what the instructions don't say, or they don't show, is that you recognize those upside down L-shaped holes right there. They're the same from the figures. Yes. That's right. Let me bring this up a little bit. You can see they're both the same shape. So which again, this wasn't in instructions. You can actually attach other weapons, not just this. So let's do a little example. So here is the claw that came with the O's armor, which I recently reviewed. You can actually attach it onto here. Yes, it does look a little dinky, but hey, that's something you can do. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Let's see what we got. Okay. Here's the Gashikon breakers, or I like to call them the Gashikon boxing gloves. You can just wedge it in here like this. So yeah, you could do that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I think I'll just take this one. Okay. Here's the other one. Here's the booster, the weapons from the Forza armor set, and of course, you can do it on this side as well. So there you go, just like that. So yeah, that's it for now. That's it for all the weapons released so far. So yeah, might as well move all the weapons off the table. So yeah, I have no clue why Bandai didn't put this in the instructions, but by putting more weapons than the drill crusher. Oh well. I mean, hey, at least I did actually spot those. Yeah, I did actually spot those little holes right there, because I was like, okay, you can't. So it's like, okay, you can actually attach other weapons aside from the drill crusher. Okay, that's pretty neat. It just baffles me as why they weren't in the instructions. But oh well, at least there's that. All right. So let's get on to the vehicle mode. All right, so let's transform the Time Machine into its vehicle mode. So first things first, remove the dummy Geo Ride Watch. Go ahead and swing these pieces around like this. Might as well bend these out for now and swing the arms in like this. Peg those together. And we're going to go ahead and turn the fist inside, that way the hollow parts are facing. And then turn the forearms around and peg these two together like that. And go and bend those up. And we'll bend this up like that. Okay, it does rest. Okay, it does rest up there. It doesn't tab in there. Okay. So just like that. And pretty much for the legs, you just bend it down like this. And you just bend up the legs like this, just the bottom legs. And there you have the Time Machine in vehicle mode. And I'll be honest, this looks a bit silly, but I do get what they're going for. It's basically just a big hover bike. That's pretty much what it is. Oh, I can tell it's a hover bike. Well, we got the bike handles, we got the seat, we got the gas nozzles. Well, this is a hover bike. It doesn't really need gas, so yeah, it just needs like electricity to run through. Yeah, it's just the way the legs transform is a bit silly, but at least they got landing skids, which is actually neat. I'll give it that. So yeah. Okay. Now, people want to guess. You can actually attach a figure onto the top. So, go and fold these forward and go turn the. Just get the hands in the correct position, like in a motorcycle rider position. Okay. So you can technically ride on it. It's a bit tricky, to be honest. Yeah, let's do it like that. Because it's because the hands aren't big enough to hold the handlebars in. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, so you gotta be real careful with this if you're gonna display it like this. So yeah. Now you can technically store a figure inside of this thing here. Yes, you can actually store a figure in here. So like you could put Comrade Gates in here. Just put Comrade Gates inside, and boom, that's it. He doesn't interfere with anything. That's it. So you can actually make Comrade Gates. You can store Comrade Gates inside the Time Machine in vehicle mode, and you can just have Comrade Geo riding on it. So yeah, that's actually pretty neat. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Time Machine. As of now. Oh, and by the way, there's nowhere to store the Geo Ride Watch dummy, so you just have to set it off to the side. All right, so overall, the Time Machine is okay. I mean, it's pretty cool that we got ourselves a Time Machine figure, and it does interact with the figures and the weapons from the Ride Armor series line, which is actually pretty good. And it does interact with Ride Watches, which again, I did say, of course I don't want to repeat myself, but I did say why I'm not going to get I don't want the deluxe Ride Watch with this thing on the beginning of the video, so I'm not going to repeat myself on that. So, yeah, and you kind of see I'm kind of doing a Comrade Geo's pose with the Time Machine, with Time Machine's pose. So yeah. Now, if you want the deluxe Ride Watch, but not the Time Machine, wait for a Gashapon or a Kanitor release. If you want to get just that thing. If you want just this thing, but not this one, then just wait for eBay or Mandarake to sell just this figure, not the Ride Watch. So, if you want. So, Yeah. And I'm hoping that there's going to be a repaint of the Time Machine just with, Kamen Gates' color scheme. That would be great. So, yeah. So sometime next year. So yeah, I do recommend picking this up because now just be aware that the O's Right Watch does add up the price for this thing. So it is going to be expensive for, the shipping and stuff like that. So yeah, I do recommend picking this up if you want to. So, my next review is going to be the Mini Pla versus Vehicle Gatai Series EX set. So, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon next to it. You can follow my Twitter and like my Facebook page. The links are down below. So, I will catch you next time, and I'm going to say, my time is out.